Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to VA Universe. I'm your humble host, Victor, bringing to you another amazing video. But before we proceed, if you are new to my channel, please press on the red subscribe button and smash the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Today's video is for education and entertainment purpose only. You must do your due diligence before getting into any investment, especially the stock market. Why? Because the stock market is risky. Today, let's talk about Cciv Lucid Moto. Lucid Moto, it's all over the news. It's pretty much all over the news. As you can know, or as you can see, it's moving to NASDAQ very soon. I've talked about Cciv and Lucid Moto over 10 times. I even talked about my action plan in my PATRON group, explaining what to do, when to take profit and when to hold long term. So here's my PATRON group, with all stocks to buy, when to sell, technical analysis, most important, risk management. So consider joining my PATRON group. But now, talking about, Cciv, which is led by Michael Klein, now coming together with Lucid Moto, headed by Peter Rawlinson, the British engineer. What is the big deal? Why does it matter much? Why are they talking about it all the time in the news? CNBC, Bloomberg, it's always about, Cciv Lucid Moto. Well, number one is that the ticker symbol will change. Ticker symbol will change come July 22nd, 2023. Secondly, mass car production will start the ending of July, first week of August 2021. So that's the big deal around this merger. But what is my action plan? Well, if you have been following me on my Patreon, I normally talk about the life cycle of a SPAC. When to get in, when to take profit, and when to decide to hold as a long term. But just to give you a brief synopsis of my action plan. I bought a lot. Just a disclaimer, I have a lot of Cciv. First action plan is that as we get closer to July 23rd, historically, SPACs will move 20 to 40%. So when I see that hype, at the moment, it already moved. It's around 20, 28, 29. When it moves over 35, getting to almost 40, if it is close to 23rd, 24th, 25th, I'm going to sell the majority or even all of my shares. When I sell, I take profit. I relax, stay back, and then I wait. After, the ticker symbol change, there is also, historically with SPAC, another 20, 30, 40% dip. So it might come back down below 30, even below 25. I'm going to buy a lot. When I buy a lot now, mass production starts July, August. I'm going to hold it now for a long term. Remember, Lucid Moto is tipped as the main competitor of Tesla. So it's good for long term. So that's exactly what I will do. I just exposed to you my action plan, but head over to my Patreon group to get more details on my action plan because I break it step by step. Okay, now that you've heard about my action plan, why don't we listen from the horse's mouth? Let us listen from CEO Peter Rawlinson. He will talk about car delivering and to explain why they are on track. And he also talked about the ticker change. So relax, don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome CEO Peter Rawlinson. To know and understand which stock to buy, which is fundamental analysis, to also know when to sell the stock, which is technical analysis, plus one-on-one phone call with me and a portfolio update, join my Patreon group. Link in the description below.
Peter, all of that technology is very, very exciting, but I just go back to the valuation issue, which is I think that investors are trying to grapple with what and what kind of multiple they should be assigning and how they should be valuing these companies. Tesla obviously has a remarkable valuation that effectively means that it is bigger by market cap if you were to combine almost all of the current car makers together. The question is, you look at the valuation of your company, you look at the valuation of others. There's a lot more competition in this space. Do you think that investors should be using the valuations of some of the older car company models, the sort of classic companies, the Volkswagens, the General Motors of the world? Should they be looking at a Tesla when they look at you? What do you think is the appropriate way to think about it?
It's a fascinating point you raise. I mean, Tesla's commanding its valuation as future-looking, and also because it is in a preeminent position. It is the preeminent technology company in the EV field. That's why it commands such a high market cap. And there's now going to be two runners in that race. Lucid is going to join as a new force in EV technology. And that puts the US in an incredibly healthy position, having two front-running EV tech companies in Tesla and Lucid. And I think it's the technology that justifies those valuations. It's no longer the commodity valuation, how many cars you build, that determines the value of a company. It's the technology and the future potential of that tech. And our tech has got the future potential to truly mass industrialize electric cars.
Peter, though, how do you think then about General Motors? They're aiming to produce, I'm looking here, by 2035, they want to have 30 new plug-in models arriving, and 30 new plug-in models arriving by 2025, and they plan to make a $35 billion investment.
Well, I really welcome what GM is doing and that commitment, but let's see how successful they are in implementing that. There's no such thing, really, as a market for electric cars. People often say, oh, gosh, that market is being saturated. There's a market for cars. And the more better electric cars that come along, the more the penetration into the car market will be occupied by EVs. And that's why I welcome the competition, particularly Mercedes is coming now with the EQS. This is great because Lucid Air can be compared at the top table with the manufacturer that invented the car, Mercedes-Benz, with the best offering from Stuttgart. And there's always room at the top. It's mighty crowded down below.
Right. Peter, you've said that you plan to put vehicles into production in the second half of the year. The second half of the year begins next month. So what's it look like right now for you?
Well, we achieved a landmark red letter day last Friday. We started building our quality validation run, production run of cars. We've completed our pre-production run very successfully. And last Friday, June the 18th, the last working day of spring, we commenced our quality validation build at our state-of-the-art factory in Arizona. And there's a big difference here, Andrew. The quality validation build cars are the cars which ultimately we will sell directly to customers once we've got the quality right. And that build is currently underway. This is a big step forward in our mission to industrialize Lucid Air.
You've said that you plan to deliver 577 vehicles this year. You have 10,000 plus reservations. Are you on schedule?
Absolutely. We're bang on schedule. And as soon as the quality is right, we're on schedule to release those cars, what I believe will be the best car in the world, to proud new owners in the second half of this year. We're absolutely on track for that.
And I said 10,000 plus reservations. What do the reservations look like right now?
Over 10,000 and growing. It's very heartening. And we're responding to the uptake and increasing demand for Lucid by accelerating. We're accelerating 350 million of investment, bringing that forward to get better vertical integration in our plant throughout 22 and 23. Right. We're also announcing an additional 6 to 7% overall investment in our plan, in our business plan, between 2021 and 26. And with that money, we'll be able to accelerate the growth of the company, secure and de-risk the risk factors, and also provide greater flexibility in terms of our mix of product. We're going to incorporate an extra 2.7 million square feet into our factory by the end of 2023. I'm very bullish about the future that this secures.